This goes out to Mr. Jerry Jones and Son. When I was in Dallas, Texas, I visited the federal building and I wanted to make it clear when I entered, I looked straight up to the ceiling so it could be a Kodak moment. Then I forwarded myself to the U.S. Postal Service to mail out some items to the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office and the Copyright Office. It seems as though the items never arrived. And just out of the blue sky, 7 years go by, and I'm looking at my trademark on a garment in San Francisco. And the first thing I did was deaf to the thieves. I mean, I know that was inappropriate saying that. But this is before Mark. This is way before the White House letter I received on March the 10th of 1997. So it is what it is. And I said to myself, Anyway, Dallas Cowboys, Mr. Jones. One of the items that was sent in. Now keep in mind, I'm an amputee, so there's certain forms that can be waived for the fee for the processing of the patent form and trademark form. There's the item of a hat that I designed. Well, one of them. This was done back in the 70s with a friend of mine called CK. He also designed the hat. CK hat was similar to this one. This was back in the 70s. And the hat that I designed to send in, red, white, and blue. But the only thing that was missing from it was the Dallas Cowboys star in the front. And it was a cap hat. And man, when I said, oh my, that's when I said, well, gotta do what you gotta do. Deaf to the thieves. You know what's occurring in New York right now, Mr. Jones? Deed theft. Property. Homes. Stealing homes. Deed theft. And I sent them to FBI in New York that looks, also the state of New York, you have to implement a law, a deed theft, the penalty would be deed death. The reason why is because the woman's father is in Georgia, 80-something years old. They wanted the woman to bring her father to New York to dispute the property. Now keep in mind, her father is elderly and not in good health. If they would have forced, matter of fact, they literally tried to force it because they locked up on Rikers Island. But if they would have actually forced her to bring her father to New York while the illness that he has, to come forward and claim he is the sixth generation of that property. And what if he would have died upon his traveling to New York to dispute his own property? Yes, the state of New York would have been liable, and the city of New York would have been liable to that death. So this is the reason why I said in New York City, in New York State, and the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development already have federal laws on the books in pertaining to such of a crime such as that. But the state of New York and the city of New York should immediately implement penalty laws regarding to deed theft. And I was so happy that Governor Pataki, former governor of New York, Pataki, during the World Trade Center days, brought back the death penalty in the state of New York. I was so happy when he did that. So if he would have died, that lady father, and the age that he was, traveling from Georgia to New York, in his illness, just to dispute, he's the sixth generation owner of that property. New York City and the state of New York would have been liable for that death. And the only penalty would be death. So people don't want to look at it that way, but it is what it is. You wouldn't have done it to the Carnegie. You wouldn't have done it to the Rockefellers. You wouldn't have done it to the Mellons. You wouldn't have done it to the Warburgs. You wouldn't have done it to the Trumps. You wouldn't have not done that. And it was sickening for them to put that woman on Rikers Island when she had to prove that's their property. So the way I see it, Mr. Jones, if it happens in Texas, Texas don't play. Deed theft, penalty, deed theft. I gotta go.